Hi there, Dead-Eyed Delboy here, back with another video, and this time it is from this week's Daily Race C at Interlagos, in what can only be described as the 1980s F1 cars. These things are absolutely mental. So you're lining up in a grid here, in the Rothmans livery. We're racing from the back on our US account, which, I'm telling you right now, yeah, this doesn't work out great. Off we go, traction control on 2, hit that guy in P13 right away, and we're off. You notice I started in second gear there, much better traction off the line in second gear there as we make a move up the inside, but you can see this is a chaotic race to start with. Ghosting system doing its job there, but then we get trapped in the left-hander here. We've got cars either side of us. You can't quite see that yet because I've not managed to get my radar on through the chaos, but here we are, we've got it on now. We're going to make a move up the inside. We watch the radar, and yeah, that's us getting hit off the track and just managing to stop going in a full spin. So demoted back down to second from last after what looked like a reasonably good start, but all of those contacts that you've seen there, they're all adding up already. This race is just insane. I've never known a race like it. My DR on this account has always been kind of upper A. I've never really ground it, like did any grind on it to get it up to A plus, like my main account in my EMA. So I always just have a bit of fun on it, but I don't know if you could describe this as fun. As you can see, the contacts that we were having there. Going around the left-hander, and somebody's went off to the Shadow Realm, and we accidentally punt someone, and off they kind of go. I mean, I look back and yeah, it was just chaos. I mean, the guy there, I don't know why he broke so early, but he did. But you might have noticed from the start, the eagle-eyed of you might have noticed, we're in one of the lower lobbies due to the fact that our SR took a hit from the previous race. So we were down in our SR anyway, as we make another huge contact there as the car came back in at us from the right. It was just insane. So yeah, our SR had taken us down into the sort of bad boy lobbies, even though we hadn't been, driving in a way that would deserve it. But I think people are finding this car so difficult to drive that hitting the brakes much earlier than they should. The turbo kicks in, you fly into the back of the car in front. It's just chaos. But look at this up ahead of a big group of cars again. Check the radars, contacts all over the place. We give them room in the left hand side there, but we make a move up the inside there, and we made our way back up to P12, and the car goes off to the left there. We'll go up the inside to pick up another position into P11. So yeah, hardly got our breaths back here, and we're trying to make a move. Another little bit of contact there, and we get hit a little bit from the back there, and into the McLaren we liveried car we go. So again, it was just all adding up. We were getting hits from the back, sending us into the cars in front of us. And the thing about this race is, for some reason, the little SR indicator wasn't there. Not that I had noticed at any point. Don't know if it's been like, look at this guy flying past. Don't know if he missed his braking point or whether he tried to take me out. Who knows? But he missed anyway, and we survived that one. But I don't know if why the SR indicator isn't there. You can see some carnage up ahead. But you were just living in hope at the end of the race that your SR was going to be intact. And look at that. I mean, what can you do about that? He's came to a complete standstill in the middle of the track. We fly into the back of him. That's our SR that's getting really badly affected there. So yeah, at this point I didn't know whether just to quit the game to try and save my SR, or whether or not to continue. We decided to continue. By this point I thought, what the heck. We'll see what happens. This guy tries to make the move down the outside of me, and I missed my braking point and I almost overshoot, but we hold it on. Up to P9, there's a yellow flag now. Who's that for? I'm not really sure, but this car was just so difficult to drive at times. You had to really, watch what you're doing. Again, the eagle-eyed of you will notice I have left TCS on 1 as we almost put ourselves into the wall. From the few races of this that I have done, I've found that TCS1 just gives you a little bit of a safety net. When the turbo kicks in, it doesn't send you to the Shadow Realm. We've got a half-second penalty now to serve. So that was really the thinking behind that. So I left it on that, and you know, the tyre management was going to be what it is. You know, yeah, you can feel, oh, look at this. I don't know if that was a takeout attempt. You just couldn't tell in this race as we get up the inside here, pick up another place. But yeah, the TCS seemed to be working. The tyre wear is what it is. I'm not particularly good on tyres anyway, so I don't really, as we just get punted. I mean, that was, to me, that looked like a deliberate punt, but yeah, at this point, can I just say I'm absolutely, the rage is starting to come over me, and I'm just thinking to myself, okay, right, I just wanted revenge, I think, at this point on certainly on that particular driver, defensive, but I think the fact that we had a little bit of room to catch up, it just kind of gave me enough time to sort of calm down a little bit. But yeah, we're up to P10. There's only 14 runners now left, with obviously a few rage quits as we go across the line. I mean, our lap times are absolutely hideous, shocking. We've just not had a clear run at any of the laps. I'm not bothering one bit with fuel saving or tyres. I'm just driving flat out, hoping to see where I end up. It is a lower lobby anyway, so I think my speed generally should be enough to keep me in the race. Although you can see here, what are we, 27 seconds behind the leader. Now, that's a huge gap. One that you would think would be insurmountable, but stick with me in this race. It becomes pretty interesting towards the end. What you'll see here is I'm catching back up with said McLaren, who I believe was responsible for punting me off, but we're going to just keep our cool, because I want to come in at the end of this lap. I was staying out another lap. I may have exacted some revenge, but yeah, I just thought, no, stick to the plan. So we catch right up onto the back of him, and yeah, stick to the plan, and we'll see where it takes us. And I'm going to go into the pits. Hopefully he's not, and he isn't. He's going to stay out. So that suggested to me he was perhaps on the medium tyre. We're on the hards, obviously. Super quick change over there. You see a little bit of fuel going in, overfueled slightly because I'm just going to drive pretty hard now for the rest of the race on the mediums. We're now in 12th out of the 13 runners who are left, and yeah, it's going to be a difficult here, but we catch up to somebody on P7. What's that? Sure the name there, but we catch up there, so we get on lap 7, sorry, we get up to P10. So and skipping forward again onto lap 8, we are now on the back of the, which turns out to be the P6 car. So we've got the opportunity to go for a move here, a little bit of side contact again. We get a track limit penalty, so what's going to happen here? He's going to fire it up the inside, completely misses his braking point, and you found that quite a lot. Anybody trying to defend the inside, it's difficult to actually see your brake marker on the inside of the going into the centre S's, so yeah, you're kind of dicing with death, and just sort of driving by the sense of your smell, almost trying to get the braking point right. But we do, and we are now on P6 as we catch up to the back of Black Ghost Rider. He's going to, I mean, and that's it. You see there, contact. There's nothing I can do about that. Comes right across the front of me, slows down well before I expected him to slow down, and we go into the back here again. He comes back onto the track and into the side of me, so all of these things are affecting my SR. I know they are by this point, so I'm just going to keep racing and hope for the best. We are now, how many, 18 seconds behind P1. So again, we've took 9 seconds out. We were 27 seconds down at one point. So we are making inroads, and we're up to P4 on track. So we've got 5 laps to go, including this one, and again, you know, it's just a damage limitation. A bit of clear track in front of us now at least, so that should avoid any unwanted collisions between now and the next time we catch up. And we've caught up to the Canadian, who was the leader, who were 27 seconds, so he's obviously had some issues. And let's see how we deal with this as we have a good run on him. Now he's going to go, gets a couple of tyres down in the dirt there, we're going up the inside and send it up quite comfortably, drift a little way, but give him space. Don't know what he did though, when we gave him plenty of space. You could see that from on the track, where he just sent himself to the Shadow Realm. As we now focus in on running down P2. So at this point I'm thinking P2 is a strong possibility, which would be a result considering the start of the race when we get shunted off, and just all the various shenanigans that have been going on. But yeah, I've lost count of the contacts. I mean, I've not done anything major to anybody. I think I've sent somebody to the Shadow Realm at the start, the end of the first or second lap, was it? It was kind of, you know, one of those ones where, you know, you can't really help it. He was a sort of strange angle at the last turn, and we just kind of came into the side of him a little bit on the racing line. But is what it is. So you can see there, we've got the fastest lap in this race, not a particularly quick one, given that we've had very, very few opportunities to actually put in a clean lap. But we've now well and truly got P2 in our sights, so hoping to get past pretty quickly so I can try and make a charge on P1, albeit that we are obviously we're 9 seconds behind, but I mean we've brought that gap down quite a bit, to be fair. But yeah, we're going to try and avoid contact here. We make the move up the inside, do it nice. I mean, we're giving them plenty of space there, no problems I don't think with that one, and we are cleanly passed. So it's a slight miracle. We've managed to do a clean manoeuvre, and the other driver was well aware of our position, didn't, you know, come across us or hit into the side of us. So shout out to the Brazilian, P3. Thanks for that. So yeah, we've got another, coming up to 2 laps left. Just the end of this, after this one, and we've got 5.7 seconds of a gap to try and hunt down. It's going to be difficult, and actually at this point I was thinking it's going to be impossible, but just watch what happens here. The guy in P1, I think, is well aware of the delta coming down quickly, and I believe that pressure is starting to affect his driving, because you're going to see something that I didn't expect to happen in this race, given that we were so far behind. Granted, it is a lower split lobby, you know, not taken away from that, but yeah, it's still a big gap we had to try and close down. We've got a back marker here, ghosting out. Who is that? That is Black Ghost Rider, I believe. He's having some issues, obviously, as he goes off to the Shadow Realm. So yeah, more than one trip to the Shadow Realm for him. And we have now cut the gap to 3.5 seconds, but you're thinking to yourself, 1 lap to go, 3.5 seconds is a big ask. He basically just needs to keep his car pointing in the right direction, and to be fair, he does keep his car pointing in the right direction. But we are on a bit of a mission now. We've got some, again, clear track in front of us, and a goal now. He's obviously lost a bit of time there because we're now into 2.5 seconds. So I don't know if his tyres were well and truly cooked. I don't know what was happening with him, but you can see he's just going round. Yeah, we're well in his sights now. You can see him going round the corner there, and we are now zoning in. But it's still, we're not in the slipstream, so you know, I'm still not expecting anything. I think maybe I could get within a second here. That's what I'm thinking. But we start to reel in the time really pretty quickly, so we're now down to 1.2 seconds, and we're soon going to be in that slipstream. You can see here just how much we're gaining now we're into the slipstream. So he's clearly feeling the pressure. I think his tyres are pretty cooked. Ours aren't too bad, but we still need to make sure that we get a decent exit, and this worked out pretty well because we're not too close. We do get a bit of a run here. Foot down, the turbo kicks in, and here we go, racing to the line. Can we make the move? It's going to be difficult. We go a little fake to the outside, and you can see on the radar we cross the line. P1, which, yeah, it kind of made the race worth staying in after wanting to throw the towel in. I almost said chuck it, which is a good Scottish term there. Wanted to throw the towel in early doors, but we stay on track. We get the victory, and yeah, we're now waiting to see what's happened to the SR. That's the big question now. And if you look at this, you can see, yeah, if you haven't noticed it, let's zoom in for you. The big red C. Now that's not good. That's really, really, really not a good thing to see. You can see in the chat though some interesting comments. Yeah, I mean, somebody seemed to suggest that I might be on crack. Don't really know what they meant, but whatever. But here it is. Manor points 21. Look at that, 99s down to a 92 and then 21. But yeah, it was time to take a step back, turn the PS4 off and step away from this race. But thanks again for watching. If you haven't liked or subscribed, please do so. It's very much appreciated. See you all in the next one. Goodbye.